Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A leading up to the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead Season 7. This one's for Episode 8. It's called Hearts Still Beating. And of course, spoiler warning, if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead Season 7 up to Episode 7, man, just getting ready for the mid-season finale. So just a few days, and it should be a good one. So the first question for this one is, do I think that Rosita will use the bullet to try and shoot Negan? So will she attempt to shoot Negan? And what will happen if she tries to do so? I mean, it looks like it to me. I mean, you can see her in the promo, right? We saw her at the end of the episode. She's getting back. She loads the the bullet and everything. She loads the gun with one. She's got one shot, it seems, one attempt to make it to make this happen. And would she be able to kill Negan? No, nobody's killing Negan right now. I mean, of course, Negan is he's going to be in the show for a while, I think it's safe to say, of course. The whole season's kind of about him. He's even in all the promos and everything. So nobody's killing Negan. But will she attempt to? I think she will actually try to. This could be maybe some kind of a remix from the Walking Dead comic book series version where maybe she tries to, but instead of her being killed, someone else is killed defending her. And I think that's what we might see. So we'll see how it all goes down and what happens with it. But I think she's going to try, and of course I think she's going to fail. Some of it could be because maybe this is like the first bullet Eugene has made, and maybe it's not like perfect, so maybe it's not exactly straight or something. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens with it, or see how this all goes down. It's pretty exciting, but I don't think that Rosita is going to be able to land a shot on Negan, and I don't think that she'll be punished for it herself too much. Either that, or maybe she'll just be in shock if something else happens around her and another character is killed. So one or the other. Next question is from BZA RZA GZA, and he's a nice name. He says, "Hey Trev, Q&A. Do you think AMC would ever have the balls to kill off Judith, whether it's by Negan or by zombies?" No, I mean definitely not by Negan. And could they kill her off eventually, like zombie type fate? I mean they could, but I think it'd be off screen. I mean they would do it off screen. There's no way they would show it actually happening. If they did, I'm sure all the advertisers would be really angry, and cable would start calling them. There would be all kinds of problems. So I don't think they're going to kill Judith off at all. I actually think that she'll probably be in the show, maybe kind of like permanently, or at least for a long time until we see the series start to get closer to being wrapped up. But I think if they do kill her off, it will certainly be off screen. And the other thing is, like, if Negan attempted to do it, you would never be able to rectify that. Fans would hate him forever. If he hurt Judith in any way, he would go 100% villain, where nobody would like him. Nobody would, laugh at his jokes or anything. Everybody would just hate him. And they don't really want us to do that. They want us to be kind of in the middle, which most people are, where we hate him for what he did with Abraham and Glenn, but at the same time we laugh at his jokes and we kind of can see his side of it, at least a little bit. Even though he is definitely brutal when it comes down to it. Next one's from Walking Dead Fan 92, and he says, "I wouldn't think Rick would cry over Spencer, but he would just be shocked." So I don't know, man, because the thing is, he made that promise, right? So because of the promise, I think he would actually. I mean, I don't know how else you'd expect for him to react if he feels like he can't do anything about it, and he's failed again. I think he would, I think he would cry, I mean, what else are you going to do? He knows you can't fight back or anything right now, so we'll see how it all goes down, but it should be exciting. The Clever 69 says, "Negan is not going to hurt Judith." This is what I just said. "That would make him completely evil character with no redeeming qualities whatsoever. He might be a bad guy, but he's not that sick." Yeah, and they're probably going to try to redeem him at least a bit if they haven't done so already in the eyes of the audience, I think, for sure. Rob Latham says, "Trev, in light of the PPP revelation, do you think Season 7 could end with all-out war and Season 8 might introduce the Whisperers?" So I still think the Whisperers are probably going to show up in Season 9, maybe Season 10 even. But I think, like with the PPP revelation, that it means really very silent, very soft, or whispering. And some people, they kind of said, well, it doesn't mean whispering; it means very, very low key. That's like kind of the same thing in terms of Easter eggs. I mean, in terms of Easter eggs, that's like the same thing, right? So it's kind of like an Easter egg. But we'll see if Heath shows up in the next couple seasons or how they handle that. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't until we see him like in season 9 or something now. Plus, they got so many other characters to focus on and so much other stuff. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Heath didn't come back for a while. But yeah, I think that we'll see March to War in the second half of season 7. All Out War should be season 8. Maybe they can do it in season 9 too, where they can somehow find a way to kind of space it out, which seems to be a little tricky. Once war starts in the TV series, they seem to have trouble with kind of spacing that. If you saw what happened with the governor in season 3, and then he kind of has to rebuild and then come back. So we'll see how they handle All Out War in the TV series version. Either way, it should be really, really good. And plus, we have way more characters now, different locations, probably a way better budget than they had in season 3. So I'm assuming it should be awesome. I'm really excited for All Out War. Truth Seeker 89 for Life says, can't believe we're at the mid-season finale already. Wow. So yeah, dude, you're absolutely right. I mean, this half, it really flew by crazy for me anyway. I mean, we were so amped for the premiere. When it hit, it was like craziness. Everybody went nuts. And then it kind of died down rather quickly in terms of buzz. It was still there. Had some okay episodes. Had some good ones mixed in there too. And finally with episode 7, I feel like got the momentum back. And now it's just ending. Sounds like it sucks. But you know what? I mean, it's a couple months break, right? And then we'll be pretty much back at it. So yeah, so it's not too bad. Plus, I haven't had a chance to really go back and rewatch these episodes too much. So I like to do that during the break when one half ends. I like to go back and take a look at them and then kind of organize my thoughts on how good it really was as a whole half season, because this half, I feel like it may actually be one of the weaker halves, but episode 7 with Negan in that in the premiere, and maybe episode 8 as well too, could change that. We'll see how awesome it is, but either way, I mean, it's Walking Dead, and it's always a lot of fun. Even if it's some of the weaker stuff they do, it's still really good usually. Ashara Wallace says Morgan needs to start clearing saviors. Nice. So it looks like we're going to see that in the promo. You've got him and Richard, Richard seems clear that it seems pretty clear that Richard wants to take out the saviors, and you can hear it in his voice and everything and the things he's saying. He knows that they have to do it. He knows there's no way they can't. So, he's working on it already. He's trying to poison them. Will they become sick? Will there be some kind of illness going around? I'm not sure. I think that would make sense to really dwindle their numbers. So, I like Richard. I think he's a really cool character, and I like how he's going to have an effect on Morgan. He's pretty fresh in terms of the series. He's pretty unique. I view Richard kind of like, he's not really like Rick. He's not guns a-blazing type of guy. But he's pretty crafty to think of the tainted meat idea. Even if it doesn't work, I still respect that. I think he's pretty smart. And, he's thinking already of ways they can try to get out of this and maybe try to figure something out. So we'll see what happens and what Morgan decides to do with it. We're going to see them in episode 8 as well, too, in the promo and pictures they're there. So should be good to find out what the Kingdom's going to do as well. Aaron Stacy says the Savior's compound looked absolutely spot on, and I got to agree 100%. I thought that the compound was great. I really liked the look of it. It looked a lot like the comics, just brought to life, especially when they zoomed out. I think they used some CG there, if my memory serves me correct, but it looked really good, and it looked like someplace that would be difficult to get into. It didn't look like someplace that would be easy to break in or out of, so I thought that was good because future parts in the series, that's going to come more into play. So I really like it. I like the Sanctuary. It's really cool. Last one will be from Beautiful Chaos, who says, Q&A Trev, do you think they are positioning Negan to take over the lead role in the TV show? With all the screen time and development he's getting, it sure looks that way. Love the channel. Keep up the great work. So thanks, dude. So is Negan kind of like our lead right now? This season, you could make a case that he's got more screen time than anybody else. It certainly seems that way. I would say that Negan is one of our A-list standout characters from The Walking Dead as a whole. There's not too many that I think you can say out of everybody that really is a standout. You've got Rick, you've got Daryl, you've got some of the earlier characters, I'd say. Tyrese might be in there. Abraham Glenn, close. But I almost would say that maybe Negan is more of a lead than either Abraham or Glenn were, and some of the earlier characters as well, even characters like Andrea and characters like that. Negan is a forefront type character, and in the future too, I think we're going to see less of Rick and more of other characters, kind of the way it is this season, but even more of Negan, which is really cool because I think that Andrew Lincoln kind of needs it after 7 seasons or 6 seasons of him being, right at the forefront all the time. I think it makes sense. You have him in the show, you have him there, but he doesn't need to always be in every poster, on every cover. He doesn't need to be like The Walking Dead is more than one character. It's more than just Rick. So I think a character like Negan or Daryl or some of the others really kind of adds diversity to the story. It adds some different points of view, different perspectives, and he's one of the best characters in the series for sure. I can tell you from the comics, and anybody who's read the comics would tell you, he's fantastic in the comics. So yeah, I mean he kind of is taking over the show for now. Rick will get it back, I'm sure. But, Negan will probably be there for a really long time, and he'll always be a presence. He'll always be an A-lister, I think, after this season. I don't think you can ever look at Negan and be like, he's a C or D character. No, not really. He's always pretty much a presence, and he's always kind of an A-lister. Also, JDM has done such a great job with him. I feel like he steals the scenes a little bit. So even if someone else, like Chandler Riggs, has some scenes where he's, doing the crying with Carl and that, JDM is so funny, and he's just so good at it that he just all you remember is the lines that he said, the things that he did. It's just so funny, right? So yeah, that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys, for the Walking Dead TV series. If you like this one, don't forget to thumb it up below. You can also share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left is subscribe. Always appreciate it. Check out another video here, guys. Going to post another one here for you, and that's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.
You better subscribe.